What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video today. Man, another release from Hot Toys. That is early, and this is the Iron Man Mark II diecast 3 2. I don't know how many point oh. I think this is diecast 2.0. And you can still pre-order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Beautiful looking figure. I always now, well, not always, just recently, I wanted to complete the Hall of Armor. And these are the two. Well, he wasn't released yet, but once I get him, now I'm only missing Mark III. Initially, I had no desire to get this figure. Even back in the day, in the plastic version or the first diecast, it was undersized and just doesn't appeal to me. That all silver. And on plastic version, I think there's like unleashed version of this. There's two versions where he was laying down. Just, he never really used it. You know, it just never, I didn't feel like spending the money that they were asking for. Make no mistake, it's more expensive now than ever. But they made some improvements here that just captures my eye now. I think, they made it more chrome. The silver version where it's just popping right now. You put him in a Hall of Armor, it just looks great in my opinion. That the extra bits and pieces, the rivets all over the armor, like it really does look unfinished. You know, it hasn't been painted yet. That looks good to me. Also, the base itself feels like it could be a standalone Iron Man, and you could use this base not just for him. You know, you can put this on a different Iron Man per se. It gives you this impression that this base is kind of like just forming this Iron Man itself, and it looks good. Because most likely, once I do get this would be stuck inside a Hall of Armor. A $400 figure inside of a Hall of Armor. Not the most ideal place for it to be in, but, you know, it's it's part of the package of having a Hall of Armor. Once I do get this, I'm only gonna be missing Mark III, which I had plenty of opportunity. It was actually on my pile of loot. Released it. I don't know why. I didn't have the money at that time. I was just like, you know what? I'll probably will be able to pick this up at some point. I'm not actively looking for it, honestly. You know, if I run across a deal here and there, maybe I'll get it. Not right now, you know, because just had some expenses as well. But we'll see. You know, like I'm not dead set on having the complete 7 in there. I know at some point I can pick up, because in my mind, if it's just gonna sit inside a Hall of Armor, I could theoretically get the diecast version of Mark III, the first one. It's not as good. Heck, it's undersized. But again, if it's just gonna sit inside of a Hall of Armor, we'll see. Let's just put it that way. We'll see. But we'll talk about Mark II. Looks really good. You can't really pair him up. I guess you can pair him up with the Tony Stark, you know, the what do you call that? The mech suit version. You know, you can put him out there. The diorama construction suit, if you don't have a Hall of Armor, you could do that as well. But as far as, you know, interacting with, you know, other figures with Avengers, you really can't do that. This is a specific armor with a specific use, you know, for Iron Man 1. Doesn't mean it doesn't look good. You know, it kind of reminds you of, at least for me, with Mark 47 with all the silver bits, but with more, for me, meaning to it. Because like I said, Legacy 7 always has, you know, as an Iron Man fan, as an Avengers fan, always has a little something special to me. The head sculpt itself, I don't know, from all these blogger pictures, it feels like they didn't really do it justice. He kind of always like is staring up for whatever reason. But I can say this, just having my Mark VI now, this looks a lot better. And I understand this is a different timeline of him. This is this is Iron Man 1 compared to Avengers / Iron Man 2. I get all of that. But objectively speaking, just from the standpoint of he is not melting, because it feels like his face was melting on Mark 6. I like it a lot better now. Now, again, very specific. He was younger here. Iron Man 1, longer hair and all that stuff. But I don't know, just the face sculpture, just the jawline, just the overall look of just the face. Now with the eyes, I don't know. Just some of these blogger pics have him looking up. But so far, it is the best, at least, Tony Stark head sculpt with a rolling eyeball system. I think the ones without still looks better, but the future is the rolling eyeball system. Now, it's still not perfect. There's a lot of improvements still left within that. But the thing is, Robert Downey and Iron Man is so vital in the realm of Marvel. And there's so many appearances of Iron Man throughout that 10-year period that if Hot Toys decides 2.0, 3.0, all of these things, this is not the ultimate version that we're looking at. Heck, this might get an artisan version down the line with, but before they do that, I hope they kind of fix the likeness before they jump into that. Because the last thing you want to do is spend $500-$600. I can just imagine, if they do an artisan with a die cast. So now you're going to add an extra $200 to a die cast figure. So this is going to be $650. I don't know how feasible that would be. But if they do, let's say, an individual Tony Stark, they can experiment with that and charge, like a normal artisan, $400. We'll see how much it would sell and how close they would get to Robert Downey's likeness. But so far, all of these, there's only two so far. This 2 RDJ rolling eyeball system. The first one was a miss, Mark 6. This one, I wouldn't call it a home run, but it's better. It's better objectively. I mean, it's not hard to be better than Mark 6, but would I use this if I get it? Sure, because it with the rolling eyeball system. But I think there's better likeness without the eyeball system. But let me know in the comments down below. How do you feel about this figure? Is this something that you would pick up? You're Iron Man out. I hear that all the time, and that is perfect. Feeling to have. There's so many Iron Mans out there, but I would love to hear your thoughts, especially on this Legacy 7. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.